ERG, and by the way, I want to pay tribute to Jacob Rees-Mogg, who what can I say about him? He's a hero of mine. I introduced him. I went to a local pub the other day with 150 students who turned up to listen to him, and you could just feel the electricity between him and the audience. And it all revolves around authenticity. The British people, they're not interested in what sort of a suit you wear, a double-breasted suit, or which school you went to, or whether you have a plummy voice. They're not interested in that. They're interested in the direction of travel that you're going in, and they're interested in authenticity and conviction. And one of the biggest problems that we have as a country is that the British people have been lied to so many times that they have completely lost interest in what politicians have to say. And the immigration figure is a classic case in point. Mr. Cameron said we're going to reduce immigration to the tens of thousands. Well, that means, I suppose, 99,999 as a maximum. Of course, none of those targets were met, and that is why, as our chairman has quite rightly identified, the immigration issue has just been catapulted to the absolute priority amongst the electorate. And this is why the UKIP party won the European Union elections, because people wanted to send out a very strong message on that point. But to answer your question specifically, I'm old enough now to remember Fontainebleau in 1984, when Thatcher went to renegotiate our rebate. And if you go back to 84, everybody said, ludicrous, pipe dream, you're not going to get anywhere, forget it. And she went in there with all guns blazing, with her handbag, and she bludgeoned these men into submission. Cole, Mitterrand, and all the others. And she said, I am not leaving here until I get this money back. This is British taxpayers' money. You are taking too much of our money. And she negotiated. She was tough. She was tough. And she took them on. And what I really worry, to answer your question, is I don't think that we're being tough enough with the European Union. And it seems to me at the moment that we are playing to their tune. And as I've said before, this gives out an appalling message to the small countries who are looking to us for leadership and vision. And so we're really at a crossroads here. There are people like Mrs. Subery, Nicky Morgan and others who have joined, would you believe, David Miliband has suddenly come back to the United Kingdom, Nick Clegg and others. And I just worry where it's all going to end. But if the Prime Minister comes back, and by the way, we have already swallowed a lot, we're prepared to swallow a lot. We don't believe we owe them £40 billion. We owe them nothing. But in order to be sensible, and because this is a negotiation, we've swallowed that as an ERG. We've said, okay, you've had £423 billion of our money, we'll give you another 40 billion. Because otherwise, if we don't give them that 40 billion, for the next 21 months, they are insolvent. And that's a very strong position for us to be in. We're giving them the 40 billion. We weren't expecting them to continue to plunder our fish off our coastal waters during the transition period. We've caved in on that. Luckily, I don't represent a fishing community, otherwise I'd be very worried about the ramifications of getting re-elected. And we have caved in on the free movement of people. Not only are the people protected who have come here already, but there's now talk that during the transition period there's going to be free movement of people as well. We've caved in on all of those things. And so this is why, if she makes that compromise on the customs union, and we're being sold an alternative which is called MaxFac. It almost sounds like a French cosmetics company. if that happens, then we really are entering dangerous, uncharted territory. And I have to say, the party that you, sir, represented once, will come back like a phoenix. Like a phoenix, and it will destabilise the Conservative Party to an extent that you've never seen before, and ultimately it will lead to a Corbyn government, which will trash the economy that we have worked so hard over the last decade to get back on its feet. So the stakes could not be higher. And my appeal to you, ladies and gentlemen, and I've come here specifically to say this to you, wherever you live in your constituencies, don't be reticent about contacting these people who are trying to thwart Brexit. Because if you care about the Conservative Party, and if you care about this country, this attempt to derail Brexit must be stopped. And everybody in this room has a duty and a responsibility to play their part, not just the politicians.